this letter that has dominated the response from the viewers and listeners this morning.
Yeah. We've all had letters like that in the past, Jeremy.
Yes. Well,
we've all had the Dear John.
Yeah.
What a truncheoning. My goodness, she didn't give any quarter at all. And the only thing she left out of it was, and you never do the dishes. I mean, it just went on and on and on, a list of complaints.
Do you believe that, I mean, because I've had this theory for a long time, that a year ago she took the right and said, I'll stand by you. I think she's been waiting for the right time. When you look at the, Monday she sacks him, Tuesday the new cabinet, today the Supreme Court ruling. Peter Carbour said earlier, if it goes against the government, she will be out of the starting blocks within a second saying we should leave the ECHR.
She won't be the only one on that.
Do you believe that this leaves a mark on Sunak and he's a dead man walking, for want of a better phrase?
I think it does leave a mark on Sunak, but I think he can bounce back from it a bit. I think it also does her damage, actually, because the only way that the only time you do this sort of just naked impertinence and insolence like that is if you think there's a chance of the sitting Prime Minister getting booted out before the next general election. That's not going to happen. And so the Tory party membership and the MPs will look at her behaviour and say, she's done us damage. We don't want this woman as our future leader. So I think she's done herself no good at all.
Do you think she's going to shore up any further support in light of that letter?
No, I don't think so, actually. I think I think she pushed it too far. She got too angry. And this was her problem in the cabinet. She became too much a force of negativism and pessimism, and she just looked totally cross the whole time. And in politics, you shouldn't look cross. You've got to look hopeful and optimistic, and you've got to be sunny.
I get that. Peter Carbour said 2 hours ago he thinks that actually she will become the darling of the right and will stand, and if she gets on the final two in the ballot, the Tory membership will vote for her.
But I don't think she will, because of...
No, well, that's really interesting. I'm more interested in, just making it about Sunak a sec. My opinion would be, he stood in 10 Downing Street a year ago and said this is about honesty and good decisions.
Integrity, professionalism.
He employed Gavin Williamson, right? That was a joke. Tarantula boy, right? I mean, no, but he did.
Terrible voice as well.
And he brought Suella Braverman back, right, after she'd already had to resign as Home Secretary. What does this say about his judgment? If she was such a negative person in Cabinet, Quentin, why didn't he get rid of her before? Why didn't he sack her?
Well, he did, and then got her back.
Because a Prime Minister has to choose a Cabinet that reflects sentiment in the party. It's not just about who is the best person for the job. It's balancing the various strands of opinion. This is true in every political party. This is true in Labour. It's true in the Tories. It's true in the Lib Dems up to the extent that they have a front bench. But in politics, there's no point stomping out unless you've got a clear purpose in mind. And I don't think she's thought that through. And it is a team game. Rishi says it's a team game. I think he's right about that. Tony Blair always took this view. You've got to be professional about it. And it just makes them look like a bunch of squabblers.
I tell you what I did think when you said that just now. Straight into my mind came Heseltine, who stomped out of the cabinet with Thatcher and thought he was going to be the anointed one and never came back and has been bitter and twisted ever since. Just very quickly before we move on to the thing, what do you make of David Cameron back from the wilderness?
Well, I disagree with a lot of Mr Cameron's politics, but I love him as a creation. He's just so wonderfully smooth. It's like having an old Bentley in the garage, bringing it out for a spin. And there's something very sort of redeemingly calm and civilised, actually, about him. And I think the old Tory matrons have all got a little bit of a pit-a-pat soft spot for him. And I think the country quite likes him, I don't know, I'm not sure about that, but I just got a suspicion. They look at him and they think, oh, Dave, he's an operator.
Do you think that's
Dave,
there's
the
an air of
operator.
nostalgia about that, of just longing for a day when politics felt a little bit more grown up than it does currently?
Well, I don't know. I never buy this thing about the grown-up thing. I think that's very not you.
Oh.
No, I don't mean you.
No,
but
fair
I
enough,
think that
Quentin.
expression is very patronising.
Yeah.
I think politics should be a bit of argy-bargy. And the one point that Suella had a point.
Doesn't
good
feel
point.
grown up though.
No,
Quentin.
but it's disputatious. That's what politics is. But when she talked about in her letter about Rishi's too keen to appeal to polite opinion, I think she had a point on that. And impolite opinion is really important in politics as well, because there's a big swathe of the country that feels impolite about the establishment, and they need to be represented.